Hello and welcome back to another episode here of my EDU RPG that I am testing out for my biology class. I am going through the development stages here, trying to talk out and get ideas on how to make this work. And in the previous episodes, I've went through and showed the hyperdoc that I have here. I've now placed that into the links down below so you guys can have a look at it. We went through the story of the RPG and the kingdoms, and in the last episode went through the character sheets. Last two episodes went through the character sheets. Today I want to look at the character creation process and the pets. So if we click here on the RPG or the hyperlink, it'll bring you this document here. This is what I'm planning on giving the students to walk through that process of creating their characters. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm going to use Google Classroom to push this information out. The character sheet will be a file that all students make a copy. This one here would be viewable by all students. There's no reason for them to have their own copy of this. So we're going to go through this as a class together, where first they start off with making a name for their character. Give them some hints on not making a dumb name, because we will call you that the rest of the year. And so a lot of good stuff goes to good names. Step 2 is trying to figure out your character's personality traits. You get to click this generator here and get a list of 3 personality traits, and you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So we'll load up this on an exterior page. And it pops up this button that says generate 3 character traits. Boom. Brilliant, sly, and daring. Now the student would take that, go enter their character sheet, and list that in the second half of the page down here under personality traits. Now these might show up within the storylines later on. As I mentioned earlier, if you are sly, as what just popped up this time, or daring, a battle might say, hey, if you have the daring personality trait, then this event happens. So just something to add more variety and more depth to the story. Back to our character sheet here. They would record those 3 into their character sheet, those 3 personalities into the character sheet, and move on to the next step, step 3, which is roll for a pet. Now, I want to explain a little bit about dice. In the game of RPGs, or in the world of RPGs, we say D6 for just a standard 6-sided dice that you would get with Yahtzee. Okay, a D4 is a little pyramid-shaped dice here that has 4 sides on it. A D8, 8-sided dice. D10s come numbered 1 through 10, but a D100 is 2 of them, except one of them is numbered by 10s, and the second one is numbered by 1. So you'd roll both of these together, and I just got 38. In order to get 100, you have to roll zeros on both. A double 0 and a 1 would be the sum total of 1. But a 0, 0, and a 0, that's 100. The next dice is a D12, which is a 12-sided dice. And the most famous is the D20. So for rolling for a pet, I just rolled a 6. So my pet is a cat. Now I'd go back to my character sheet and put type. Pet here is cat. We will talk about their abilities in just a moment. Okay? Moving on down, you're going to go to your character sheet, add your guild mates, and your guild and your kingdom that you belong to. We will go here and click for random miscellaneous stuff. And what random miscellaneous stuff would be like, in your pocket you have a rock, a pair of scissors, and string. There's just a whole random list of random items, and I don't know what it's going to do other than give a little story. When I tried this out with my test group of about 4 kids, they just thought this was fun. After that, you get to choose your weapons. All damage is based off of a dice pool. A dice pool is the number of dice that you get. So if you have a power of 1, which all these basic items here have a power of 1. So when you attack a monster or a boss, you would roll 1d6. If you had a power of 2, you would roll 2d6s. If you have power of 3, 3d6s, and so forth, so on and so forth. The number in parentheses that you see on screen here, that's the weight of that item. So certain items that are really, really cool, like a flamethrower, has a weight of 12. So later on, when you add up to that total of 75 here in your backpack, well, you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want a heavy flamethrower, or is it more efficient to have a lighter weapon but not as cool? So the kids will have to make those choices. And again, choices are what is important in a game, having a good choice. This item here would not be placed in backpack, though. It would be placed in hand at the start. Going on next, we get to go to a search and come up with a image. And you're going to copy and paste that image into your character sheet and right here. And you're going to get an image of your pet and paste it right here, just to add a little flavor. After that, you get to put your kingdom insignia on your character sheet, or maybe you and your guild will make your own insignia and put it on your character sheet just as your own little sign, just for the fun of it. Final step is the aspect of character bio. Here, I'm going to ask you a few questions to kind of help guide you on these steps of writing the backstory. Now, some students will be able to pop out a backstory like that. Others are really going to struggle with making that jump. But the whole idea is getting them out of the comfort level or out of their comfort zones and into trying something new. And if they create the storyline, they create the backstory, they create their characters, then they might have more buy-in to trying to level up their characters and wanting to play the game. After that, we will prepare the characters for print. I will have to print them off because I'm the only one with access to a color printer at our school. And I will hand them to the students, and they will place them in the page protector in their folders. Their folders will have a place where their badges go on the outside. There will be the like baseball card protective sleeves, because we're going to print out and cut up the items, and they're going to put their items into those page protectors. And finally, I just wrote a basic skill advancement here, level up chart based off of experience levels. And here I want to talk about skill gain. Now, at the very beginning, you're level 1, you have 2 skill points. Let's jump back to the character sheet and see our skills. Right now, there is nothing. So when you create your character, you get 2 skill points to place in there. Now, physical could have 2 and everything else has 0. Mental and luck can each have 1, and physical has 0. Regardless, at first level, somebody's going to have 0 at the end. What that means is later on, if you say have to roll for a mental check because the boss is attacking your brains, you roll a d6 and you add your bonus to whatever you roll. Now at second level, you gain 2 more points in addition to level 1's 2 points. So you have a total of 4 points that you distributed. You cannot rearrange them once you place them in. At level 3, 2 points, but at level 4, now you get 3 points to distribute. All the way up to level 9. When you hit level 9, you get to distribute 7 extra points to your skill. That's a huge, huge bump. So I'm going to end this video right now as ScreenCastify tells me it's time to. The next will be the details on the pets. Hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Have any comments, leave those too. Share this. Access this HyperDoc. from a link down below, and let's see if we